Brought to you by Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Sulky Threads. Express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence.
Welcome to Quiltmaker's Block Network. I'm June Dudley with Quiltmaker magazine, and today I'm going to share with you Jungle Boogie, block number 79. This is the block that I designed for Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 1. For this block you'll need 2 light prints, 4 medium to dark prints, and 1 stripe. The cutting dimensions to make a 12-inch block are on the screen. So I want to show you today how I audition fabrics and put them into different positions to see where I want to put them when I actually start making the block. I've cut patches to the finished size and I have them arranged in different locations. The difference between block number 1 and block number 2 is where the blue and the purple and the blue are placed. One of the differences in between block number 1 and block number 3 is moving this light print to the outside and moving this purple to the inside. It's subtle differences, but I want to see how they play out. And then in block number 4, I move the purple up here with a light. And when you're just looking at the blocks by themselves, it's hard to see what's going to happen when they get put into a block setting. So I want to show you next what I do with the digital camera and then start playing with what the setting looks like. So with my photo in a folder next to an open Word document, I can drag and drop the photo onto the document. Select the image and go to the Format Picture tab, where you can then go to the Crop tool and begin to crop the photo. In this case, I'm choosing block number 2 and dragging the edges from the Crop tool in order to isolate the block. After the block has been isolated, then I want to put 4 blocks across the document, so I need to make the block a little smaller. By grabbing the corner handle and moving that smaller, it keeps the block in proportion. And then with the block selected, I can copy it and then paste it 3 times in order to fit 4 blocks across the row. And after I have 4 blocks in a row, I can select all 4 blocks, copy them, and then continue to paste and paste 1 row at a time until I have a 4x4 setting. After you have the 4x4 setting, it's an interesting design, but there's more that can happen once you start rotating the blocks. So I'm going back to this first row, second block, and I'm going to select that block and rotate the block 90 degrees clockwise. Then I'm going to go to the block below that and rotate it twice. And I'm going to go to the block to the left of that one and rotate it 3 times. And now you can see the pinwheel that's beginning to form as where those blocks are meeting. The next thing to do is to continue repeating blocks in that same pattern in order to get the overall design. Then I can open a new document, drag the photo on a second time, and now I'm going to isolate block number 4. And it's all but the same way I did the first one. Just drag the photo in place, select the photo, go to the Format Picture tab, select on Crop Photo, and this time I'm isolating block number 4. And it's okay to go just inside the edges of the block, because as you remember, this now would account for the seam allowance so that you're covering up all the raw edges of the block. And you want to make it as square as possible so that you can repeat it and maintain that square as you do your 4x4 setting. And so again, I make it smaller and I select it, copy it, and paste it, and continue to repeat that until I have a row. Once I have a row, I select the entire row, copy that, and then paste the rows until I have the full design. Again, I'm going to rotate the blocks until I have, in this case, 2 rows of blocks done. I can get rid of those rows 3 and 4. Now I can select these 2 rows, copy them, and paste them without having to rotate each and every block. That will help you get a little further along. Now you can see I've got all 4 blocks rotated in the same setting. And the subtle differences that you're seeing between the blocks are because of the different positions of the fabric. And so you can decide, do you want a stronger pinwheel or a lighter pinwheel? There's no right or wrong answer. In this case, I chose block number 2 as the block that's going to be sewn. The other thing, though, is that you don't have to rotate the same way that I did. You can begin to rotate blocks in any pattern that you want. Here I rotated every other block just once and then repeated those rows for a different design. Now you see 3 different layouts where the blocks are rotated in different directions in order to get to them. With these simple tools, a digital camera and Word, you can audition fabric in different positions in your block, and then you can also take it a step further and try different settings to come up with your own original quilt design. So here is block number 2 from the fabric audition, and you can see triangle square here, plain patch here, triangle square here with a plain patch here. You're going to sew these together, and then you'll sew them together with the large stripe in the middle. You'll find Jungle Boogie and 99 other versatile blocks in Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 1. Hope to see you again soon on Quiltmaker's Block Network. I made the mistake of telling my staff that I designed this block on the shower door and they wanted me to bring the shower door in, but that's the only block that I've ever designed in the shower.